Hey, class. I just wanted to have a chat with you about what we kind of have going on here for this problem. So we're into 6.2 in this section, and this is problem number 4. And they want us to find a value of s in a certain interval that satisfies the given statement where cosecant of s is equal to 1.4031. And they want us to, determine what we have going on now. Let's just kind of break down, trigonometric functions, input and output. So let's say we have something like cosecant. So we have the cosecant of the input is going to be equal to the output. So you know that trigonometric functions have certain ranges and they have certain domains. So in this instance, we're given the output, but we don't know what the input is. If we're given the input and we want to find the output, we can just, substitute those things directly into our trigonometric functions, But when it's the opposite, when we are given the output, but we don't know what the input is, we have to use inverse functions in order to determine that. So we need to use an inverse function. That's one thing. All right. And the second thing we need to be aware of is reciprocal functions. All right. So in this case, it's a relationship between sine and cosecant. So sine theta would be equal to 1 over cosecant theta, or the opposite is also true. Cosecant theta is equal to 1 over sine theta. All right, cool. Now, that would work for if we were given the input and we needed to determine the output. We could just take the exact same theta, right, the same input, and we can just put 1 over sine of whatever that input is, and we would calculate the same output, right? But to go the opposite way, we actually have to address the output in order to kind of switch everything up. So what I mean by that is, yes, cosecant theta, right, is equal to 1 over sine theta, but their outputs are 2. So something about ratios that we can kind of keep in mind. If we have a over b and that's equal to c over d, b over a is also equal to d over c, so it still remains proportional. So we can use that to our advantage here. Now, what I mean by that is I have, and let me do this I'll do this in blue. So I have that cosecant of s is equal to 1.4031. Now, if I think about that with sine, right, just in kind of incorporating things with sine, and I'm going to use magenta for this one, then, how can I represent cosecant as sine? Well, I would say 1 over sine of s. And that's going to be equal to, since I needed to take the reciprocal of this side, right, I'm going to also take the reciprocal of that side. So then 1 over sine of s is equal to 1 over 1.4031. All right. So this is going to be critical to us determining what we have going on. So it combines the idea of using the inverse function, because we're going to have to take the inverse function of this, or inverse sine of this, and it combines it with reciprocal functions. So how do I solve this? Well, in order to determine what s is, I would say s is equal to, Well, here's the solution. S is going to be equal to the inverse sine of 1 over 1.4031. All right, that is going to be, if your calculator is in radian mode, it will calculate it correctly. Let me show you. First things first, I'm going to go and confirm that my calculator is in radian mode. It is. So now I'm going to take the inverse sine of 1 over 1.4031. Boom. I get that S, and they want us to round to 4 decimal places. So S is approximately 0.793. And if we look here, this is the 4th digit. So looking just to the right, that means we need to round that up to 4 here. So 0.7934 is going to be the final answer there. So hopefully that can help you with the difference between if we were just given the input here and we needed to find the reciprocal function of some input. That's we handle that in a different way. So we kind of talked about that here. We could just put 1 over sine of that same input. But when it comes to determine the output, we have to use some different understanding here, in that we need to take, again, the inverse sine of both sides here to find that S. And so we have to represent this quantity differently. All right, so hope this helps. Let me know if you need further clarification, and I hope to talk to you soon. Peace.